Hello.
Hi.
I'm surprised you know how to act on this thing.
I don't.
What's up, everybody? You don't have to yell. That mic will pick
Okay,
you up,
sorry.
girlfriend. Welcome to our living room. It's Wednesday evening, 9:30. I've got Orlando City on the TV. The kids are asleep. We're hoping they don't interrupt what happens tonight. We're no longer at the Oyster Pub. We're home from Daytona. We got a lot to talk about. Do you have any preparation for this episode?
0.
Are you ready for this though? Zero. 0% chance you're ready. Well, we do want to welcome back my wife, Kristen. She joined us for the first Daytona recap, right? The Daytona 500 recap at the beginning of the season.
I did.
You haven't
Yes.
been on since then?
I have not.
Okay, so you're going to be the Daytona regular, I guess. Um, One of my first questions for you. Sorry, we're jumping right in, folks. One of my first questions for you. Are we happy with the news of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Sure. I'm not a Swiftie, so
I
congrats.
had to ask, though. Do we kind of look like them? Like, I know we don't look, but we're set up on a podcast, kind of like they were, right?
Yeah.
Sure,
I have blonde hair. You have a beard. Does he have a beard?
I guess. I don't keep up with when guys got beards.
No.
Except Blaney, it's playoffs. He's gonna have a beard. Um, well, we're gonna recap.
Recapped.
I haven't even been the one drinking. That's been you tonight.
It has.
We are gonna recap our weekend in Daytona. We're gonna tell you all about it from beginning to end. That's how I have it in the outline. Just
Mhm.
from Friday morning to Sunday evening, Sunday morning actually when we got home. We'll go through everything we did, where we're going to try to recount and tell the stories from this past weekend. We're not going to bore you too long. It wasn't as special as the Daytona 500 was. Still a special weekend because of things that happened. So we're going to talk about those things that happened on the track as well. And then we will do a. Ooh, I lost my place. We'll also look at the playoff standings since we now have the playoffs are set for the Cup Series. We'll talk about who made those last few spots um, to get clinched. And also, we will preview Darlington, which is happening this weekend. Did you even know Darlington was next?
I did not.
I know I'm going to throw a ton of curveballs your way, so I hope you are ready.
Is that the one we went to?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. If you don't already have your restaurant recommendations, be thinking of it now. Don't tell it now. We'll revisit that later, but that is on the outline. You're a faithful listener. You should have known that.
Trying to remember what trip that was though.
Myrtle Beach.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Um, yeah, she was not a fan of that trip very much, but anyway, we'll revisit that at the end of this episode as well. So the first thing we got to do is we got to tell what we're drinking, and you have to make a toast.
No.
Gosh, that's like one of the honors of being a guest. But I have an ice cold water tonight. I did not feel like having a adult beverage. That might have been because you bought us Panda Express for dinner, and I just don't have room. So
So
water.
responsible of you.
Yeah,
I have a Galinda from Tactical Brew.
I thought that was mine.
No.
Is there still one for me?
Yes.
All right. You haven't opened it yet.
I have
Nice.
not.
So you have to make a toast.
This one is pink lemonade and dragon fruit sour, and it's really good.
It is good. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I love it.
I just got my ass done.
Um, yeah. Um, is there some kind of wicked themed toast you can make?
No.
She hates me putting her on the spot for these types of
Have you
things.
tried Cheers Me yet?
But you got to make a
Oh,
toast though. What?
to doing the podcast
All
together
right.
again.
Well, she obviously isn't getting it. Oh, to Orlando City, who just scored in extra time of the first half.
To Orlando City.
Hallelujah. But no, I'm really surprised she didn't go this route. But
Because I figured you have a
no,
special segment for it.
it's for the guests. But I do have one because I knew that you weren't gonna be ready.
Didn't want to steal your thunder.
Kristen, happy early anniversary.
Happy 13 years to the day of meeting.
13 years today we met. 10 years tomorrow we've been married. It's been a fantastic decade and more.
Has.
So cheers to us, honey.
Cheers.
We will get to celebrate us next week, but tonight is all about the podcast. No celebrating. There will be some celebration involved, though. Let's talk about why. Let's go to Daytona. So, like I said, we want to share what we did this past weekend. Daytona is our track. Um, we haven't renewed 500 tickets yet, but we need to immediately. So let's begin. Friday morning, what's the first thing we did? You remember?
Took our boy to school.
We did. That was the that was my first chance taking him to school. Your first chance to take him to school this year. I think he's just
Yeah.
been going to school 3 weeks now. So usually it's the grandparents that get to do that, but we got the chance to do that Friday morning. So we dropped off Braden at school. It was actually his birthday. So that was a fun day for him. When we dropped him off at school, we went down the road with our 2-year-old to Chick-fil-A, had some breakfast, and then we kind of split from there. That's when Brandon met up with me, and me and Brandon took off for the Oyster Pub. We were over there about noon, and all during that time, you were going to Braden's school and celebrating his birthday with him. Brought some cupcakes, let his class celebrate his birthday, and you picked him up from school early,
Mm.
brought him out to the Oyster Pub, and right about the time you got there is when we started recording. We did our live podcast, and so if you haven't had the chance, go listen to it. But be forewarned that the audio is a little rough. That was our first time kind of doing something like that, so figuring it out on the fly and definitely living and learning from our mishaps. And so next time we do it, hopefully we'll have some clearer audio for you that we can produce. But it was still a really good time. Um, got to devour some rum buckets actually, like I was looking forward to. That happened the next day as well, didn't it?
It did. Well,
Yes,
for
it
you
did.
and I.
We'll get to that. But then after the Oyster Pub, did we do anything before we went to the Xfinity race? You have to say something. It's a
I
podcast. They can't
sorry.
see you shaking your head.
I'm thinking. I don't think so. Because by the time we left there, it was like 3 something.
Yeah, I think we went right over to the Xfinity
Think
race.
so too.
Um, and oh yeah, so we were hoping to catch Cup qualifying, and when we got to the track, we were not allowed to go in the gates. They had a delay for lightning, which is kind of weird. I have not had many lightning delays in NASCAR, but that ended up canceling qualifying. So our boys were a little disheartened that they were not going to be able to see Chase or Blaney in person like they were hoping to. But they did get to see some racing later that night. But while the qualifying got canceled, we ended up shopping around a little bit, got them some new cars. Did we get any clothes for them? No new clothes, right?
Not
Just
that
some
day. Yeah,
cars.
they just got cars.
Yeah, just some new die casts. Hella expensive. I hear Gunner right now. Maybe he'll just
He'll be alright.
go to sleep. We're gonna ignore him, but he's getting louder. Um, I'm gonna keep this thing rolling though. That's how it goes. And then so the Xfinity race happened that night, but that didn't happen without a delay. Um, in fact, I believe they did the national anthem. The boys did not like the fireworks, and as soon as that anthem ended, um, let's see, they went under another lightning delay. No rain, so no slickness on the track, just a lightning delay. I think we went out and sat on the ground in the concourse or whatever and waited that out. And they said you could go back in. They started the cars up. I think they did a few
They
laps,
did
and
like
then it did start to sprinkle.
we got to like lap 10.
Yeah, it wasn't much. It started sprinkling, and this was a sprinkle like I've never experienced
You
at
didn't
Daytona.
believe me that that's what the caution was.
Yeah, I didn't.
You thought it was debris on the track.
Yeah,
I said they just said
that's
it
what I
wasn't.
thought. Yeah, but me being Mr. Wrong over here. Eventually learned it was wet, and actually the track was really not that wet.
It was just in turn 3.
Yeah, it was just coming down over there, and they wanted to avoid, I think, any chance of slickness happening. So they pulled the cars down pit road. Um, they red flagged it. They never let the drivers get out of the car, so we knew there was a good chance that they would be able to get back to racing pretty quickly. But that sprinkle just hovered. It kept up and sustained for a good while. I would not turn that off. I would just leave that here. She's gonna go check on baby and tell him, "Be quiet, go to bed, boy." So yeah, that sprinkle was weird. We never lost the track that night. Um, they were able to keep the drivers in the cars. The jet dryers, I think, made one round through the tri-oval. They did a little bit cleaning up in turn 3 and 4, maybe a little bit in 1 and 2. But yeah, it was a lengthy delay, but they never lost the track. Could have been a lot worse. So they got back to racing that Xfinity race. The boys got to enjoy some racing. But here's the thing, here's the catch. We only watched the first 2 stages. We were, um, because of the time of night it was, because we had the 2 young guys with us, our boys, um, one of them had baseball the next morning. I was like, "Let's beat the traffic out of here." I wanted to see the finish, the 3rd stage of that race, but we had been through enough that evening as it was, so I was, uh I was like, "Let's just beat the traffic. Let's not let the traffic delay us anymore." So, we got moving, and, we got home probably 15 minutes after the race ended, so I got to listen to the Xfinity race end. I got to hear the call for Parker Kligerman winning that race as the boys slept. I think Kristen slept a little bit on the way home, and it was glorious. We got home at a decent time that night. Huh? The tablet is right there, right in front of you, honey. Oh boy. All right. So that's yeah, that was our Friday. And I must say that Xfinity race was a special one. Being able to see Connor Zilich race a race car for the first time in person and seeing the crowd be very receptive to him, especially coming back from his injury, was really neat. There's a different energy with that series and a different energy within the crowd when he's around, and then to see him get out of that car early in the race and make the switch with Kligerman to get him in the car, and then he kept that thing in contention all night, and they kept improving and gave him a shot at the end of the race. And so to see him come through, I know it was a magical moment on TV. It was a magical moment on our ride home, just getting to listen to it. Uh, that is one I wish we could have stuck around for, but because of what we had coming the next day, I did not regret leaving early at all.
No.
So, did you enjoy that Friday though?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna have you repeat everything I just said. I gave him the whole spiel.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. It was fun to take our 2-year-old to his first race.
Yeah. Gunner's first race, he did not like the sound, and he was not a fan of the headphones. He was keeping the earbuds in his ears, but he would not put the headphones on his head, so that was just another reason it was time to go when it was time to go. And, so yeah, we got out of there at a great time, and then Saturday happened. You're looking at my notes.
I can't read it. It's such small print.
Saturday, did we sleep in a little bit?
No, because he had baseball.
He was supposed to have baseball. Now, I do call it sleeping in, like, anything past 8 o'clock, that's sleeping in, but it wasn't enough. Um, yeah, Braden was supposed to have baseball that morning, and it was raining so bad that baseball did get canceled. And it was raining bad all over the state, so we know that not only were we getting it here in Orlando, but over in Daytona was getting it as well. I was seeing some of the pictures coming through. Um, I believe it was Bob Pockers that said, "This is why you don't run races at 11 o'clock in the morning like some fans asked to, because it rains then too. It can rain at any time here in Florida." So when baseball was canceled, we started shifting our plans a little bit and dropped the boys off to their grandparents. And we started making some lunch plans over in Daytona. Even though the weather was going to be a little crappy, we were going to enjoy every bit of it. So that's when we headed over to Ocean Deck. Was that our first stop, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Ocean Deck. I have not been there before. Kristen apparently has been there over many years. And so finally got to take me. And I don't remember the name of the drink that I had, but it was in a bucket and it was delicious. And I will be going back for another one of those drinks. I don't know what I had.
I think it was Coco Cabana.
It sounds about right, but not so much cocoa,
Coconut Cabana?
not so much coconut either. But the
Banana
cabana was
Cabana.
right on the money. It was awesome. I think we both got that drink.
We did.
Yeah. And they had a Rasta sauce on the chicken to die for. I'm already craving it, actually. I would love to go back anytime you want. Um, so yeah, then after Ocean Deck, what did we do?
After that,
I mean, I have my notes, but I don't know if my notes are correct. So I gotta ask Miss Wright.
we went to our typical shopping spot, which is that little old NASCAR, that old lady
Oh
shop.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that was we spent 5 minutes there,
Yeah,
and we
you
didn't
always
buy
gotta check
nothing.
it out. You never know what you're gonna find.
True. What do we do after that?
Then after that, I think that's when we went and met up with Jeremy and Jake.
Oh, at Twin Peaks.
Mhm.
Okay, so a couple of my buddies were over at Twin Peaks sitting at the bar, and this was probably about 5:15. I was like, let's just go over there, get a cold beer, and and by the way, I'm one that usually likes to get to the racetrack around 11 o'clock, noon maybe at the latest for a night race. So this was weird. 2 hours before the race, deciding to go to Twin Peaks. Uh, but it was great. Had the coldest beer in Daytona Beach right before we headed over to the track. And yeah, it was about 6 o'clock when we parked in lot 7, got that free parking, hopped on the bus, shuttled over to the track. And I mean, we didn't spend a whole lot of time doing much before we walked in. And I think we made it to the seats just after the anthem happened. And so that is unlike a life that I've ever known.
It's a
Very
first.
weird. Yeah, very strange. But I did not overheat that day. So, oh, I have to shout out this shirt though. I found this on Friday when we went to the race. This was $20. It was double XL. It was the last double XL they had. And I was like, give it to me. And Chris was like, you take that home and cut the sleeves off of it. And I was like, you're right. I'm about to do that. And I rocked it on Saturday.
Good.
But I would not have been able to rock it if we went there at 11 or noon. So because it was 6 o'clock when we parked, I was good. So yeah, the cup race happened.
Oh boy.
I don't know why I positioned myself like that, but tell me what you thought of the pre-race show on Saturday.
It was awesome.
You want to tell the viewers or the listeners what happened?
I mean, I'm
Because
assuming
you haven't
it's
seen one like this, right?
no, so I'm assuming it's the first time they've done it. But we're known for having the what are they called? Oh, y'all are gonna give me heck for not knowing this. The Blue Angels?
Oh,
What
I
is it?
knew you were gonna miss it. It's the Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds. Aren't the pilot people called Blue Angels or something like that?
The Blue Angels are a different branch.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
I hope I
Thunderbirds.
said that right. the The Blue Angels are different from the Thunderbirds.
Okay. So we're known at Daytona for having the Thunderbirds fly over, which of course
The
they did.
500.
500, yeah. Not
This is
normally
not the
for the
500.
summer, but they did it on Saturday.
Mm-mm.
Yes, they did.
Don't think that those were the Thunderbirds.
Well, were they? Just fighter jets?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was a special name for these, but I could be very wrong about that. I could. I just think there would be a lot more hoopla about the Thunderbirds being
I
there
mean,
again.
they were breaking sound barriers like the Thunderbirds normally do at the 500.
Well,
Anywho.
you keep telling your story. I gotta get some Lucy real quick.
Oh gosh.
I'll be quick. I don't want people to see my shorts.
So, again, as I'm assuming this was the first time, they had the military helicopters fly in, and they dropped them down to grab the is it the green flag that they grabbed or the checkered flag?
Yeah, they delivered the green
Sorry, we were
flag.
still walking to our seats, so we still didn't really see all this happen. But it was really cool, and then they got back up in their helicopter and flew away, and
Sure did.
I wanna be one of those that are, like, hanging out the side of the helicopter. That looked awesome.
That's a cool seat.
Yeah,
I would love to experience that
but they
sometime.
hovered, like, I think they said 150 feet
Yeah,
above, something like that.
I
But it
didn't
was
hear
really
that
cool,
much. You heard more
and
than me.
Daytona should keep that as a tradition, and it really would've been cool if it was still a 4th of July weekend race.
Yeah, I don't know why they brought that back. I don't think that there was a significant special occasion going on.
Okay, you just said brought it back, so is it something they used to do?
No, they've done it at other events.
Uh,
They might have done it at the Daytona race. I don't recall them doing it at Daytona, but I've seen that very thing happen at the Coke 600 or whenever I've been to Charlotte. Like that was Memorial Day weekend, so I'm pretty sure that's why they do it then. So like it would make sense to do it for 4th of July weekend if Daytona still had that date.
mhm.
So that's why I said bring it back. Like this is something they've done before. But yeah, your first time seeing it because it was the first time that we recall seeing it happen at Daytona. But yeah, it was pretty cool pre-race show, and yeah, I think they just delivered the green flag and that was it. So
Yeah, then they went right back
um,
up.
still put on a really cool show. But as for the race, we went into this race also listening to a different radio than usual. When we go to the race, we have a scanner, and so we got 2 headsets that connect to the one scanner. We just listen to the same thing, and, usually, I gotta be on that 9 radio, so I know exactly what the game plan is for Chase all race long. But that was not what I wanted to listen to on Saturday night. My focus was all on Bowman getting in the playoffs. I really thought he was about to have the race of his life. I think he started shoot, he started what? 2nd. He was in a great position. Yeah, it looked like the stars were aligning. And so I was all over that 48 radio from the drop of the green flag. And what did you think of that? I don't think you really care, but it's different, right?
Yeah, it was different, but I liked why we were listening to him because there was a reason to listen to him.
He had more reason to win than anybody else that we really care for. He was my guy on Saturday. And so, like I said, the stars were aligning. What happened early in that race? Lap 19, Tyler Reddick spins. Okay. Um, when he spins, he makes little minimal contact with the inside wall, but this was exactly what I was hoping for. It's exactly the start of the race that we needed. We needed the 45 to get into some trouble. I didn't want Bowman or a Hendrick driver to take him out, and that didn't happen. But Reddick just found a little misfortune early in the race, but he did um, sustain very little damage. He was able to get that car fixed up back out there. They remained on the lead lap, or at least got the lap back,
That's a lot.
and they remained in contention. Had enough speed to to do well. But at first, like in that moment, I thought this is it. This is it. The stars were aligning. But it was just 8 laps later that Bubba Wallace spins, Tyler Reddick's teammate. A lot of people are saying it was Larson, Bowman's teammate, that spun Bubba Wallace. But through the tri-oval, Bubba ends up in the grass, coming back up the track and collecting several cars. One of those cars being Alex Bowman, and that one hurt. Um, but it felt kind of right because I should not have been cheering the Reddick wreck like I did. So I felt like this was just instant karma for Coz. And Bowman, that's on me, man. I'm sorry. I gotta watch the mic. So yeah, that was exactly not what I was hoping for, but I deserved it. And this wreck was a little bit more heavier damage for the 48 than the 45 got in the previous wreck. the race did go under red flag, so we were able to get the car to the garage and look it over, but we were not able to do anything with the car and get it back out there. Bowman did take the DNF, and so that that hurt, but there was still a chance. Bowman was still in a good points position. The only thing he did not need is a repeat, or sorry, he did not need a new winner. Okay, if we could have a repeat winner for this race, then Bowman would still get that playoff spot. So we knew that. And as the rest of the race goes, we're not going to touch on every little thing that happened, but some of the notes that I took down from the race. Cody Ware led some laps. Do you even know who that is?
I know the name, but if I had to tell you his number right now, I couldn't.
Did you know his name before Saturday?
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
yeah.
Hmm. Well, yeah, he led laps, which is crazy.
Is he 51?
Yeah, he's 51. He was the Arby's car the other night, and when he was leading the laps that he was leading, though, like that's when you knew something crazy's happening tonight. I
Yeah.
just had a feeling there was going to be a crazy winner. I didn't think it was ever going to be Cody Ware. He just doesn't have the expertise. He doesn't have the teammates surrounding him to push him. Like eventually, someone was going to bail on him, and that ended up happening with some other guys too. I'll touch on that in a second. But when he was leading, that's just what told me like this is going to be a crazy finish. And so then I got to say, Joey Logano, he looked like the best car all night. I hate to admit that, but it's true. Felt like he could do whatever he wanted with that car. However, I did say, I don't remember if I said this to you or if I said it to our buddies, but I said, even though Logano is probably the best car out there, and he was leading a bunch of laps at the time, I said, these guys aren't going to let him win. The non playoff drivers, they're not going to have that 22 win in this race or dominating and staying out front. That wasn't about to happen. Eventually, someone was going to move. There were too many hungry guys behind him. I never felt like Logano was going to win this race. I will say, I never felt like Chase or Byron was going to win this race. Um, when we lost Bowman, we need a repeat winner. Any Hendrick driver would do. But I always felt like Larson was going to have the best chance to win on Saturday night. I don't know how you felt about those three cars and who had the best chance, but I felt like Larson was going to give like the most aggressive run, the most aggressive charge towards the front. And that ended up playing out right in front of us at the end.
Mhm.
But going back to Logano, lap 149, he got spun out. And I think there was some contact involved with Busher, who was hungry for a win. And also, he was being pushed, or at least very closely, just a nudge maybe, by Eric Jones, who was hungry for a win. So, just as I said, boom, there goes the 22. And and then a couple guys led the race after that. Eric Jones, Ryan Preece, both of them were running up front and looked to possibly be like they were in control of the race at the end. They both got hung out eventually. Guys just went around them. I know when Priest got past, it was because of Larson and Elliott's push. Um, Chase was always going to do whatever Larson did. And that's just the strength of Hendrick Motorsports. Joe Gibbs Racing can do it. Penske Racing can do it. That's the strength of having teammates at a drafting track is I like to be that second or third car in line because you're going to go right around them. Ryan Priest had no help behind him. He had Larson and Elliott tag teamed. Um, And then when we do get that front spot, that's also when I feel good because we got that second guy protecting. But anyway, we we saw a crazy finish. 2 laps to go. Blaney was running 12th to 13th. Never thought he was going to be a factor. Um, like I said, I always thought Larson was going to be the guy that was going to have to win this race if we were going to have a repeat winner. Like he was our only hope for Bowman to get into the playoffs. And then Blaney linked up with Cole Custer. Cole Custer being a hungry driver. They both linked up. They made a charge to the front like I've never seen. And in fact, I think Blaney got the lead on the backstretch of the final lap. So, I mean, it really took them a lap and a half.
Mhm.
to go from 13th to the lead. Incredible. Go watch that replay back. I can't watch it enough. But then Blaney wins in what I think is just a legendary photo finish, 4 wide at the line, and the other 3 cars beside him, no wins this year. So any of those guys could have punched their ticket and eliminated Bowman had they just been a nose in front of Blaney. And also all the guys behind them pretty much that are in that same photo. Larson is the only exception. Um, but everyone else in that photo hungry for a win. In fact, 6 of the top 8 finishers in the race do not have a win this season and are now left out of the playoffs. So
Wow.
they were all right there. It was only Larson and Blaney that had our hopes hung in the balance. And luckily, Blaney came through. So, all those other drivers' dreams were crushed just in an instant. And I mean, fantastic run. Got to give credit to all of them, especially because it did not end up in a wreck fest or some awful, chaotic accident. I can't say enough how incredible it is that no one got turned. Now, I mean, after they crossed the finish line, a couple cars got spun, but that wasn't even malicious, and those were not violent hits. I think they might have kept the cars off of the walls and probably made it back around. So, just incredible. You want to give any thoughts about the race scene action that we saw in person on Saturday night?
Um, I mean, I know I made the comment to you while you were there, but I love that we live so close to Daytona because we get the opening race of the season and we get the, like, final race of the end of the season before playoffs, so we get the most I feel like the most racy of everybody, like, everybody's so eager to get back on the track for the start of the season, so it's always, like, a fun 500, and then this one, everybody's racing for their spot, so, yeah,
You might be onto
love it.
something there. A lot of people would argue that the 500's become pretty boring because it's such a long race, and they run single file for a lot of it. I think what you might be talking about is what you see in the duels on Thursday night
I mean, that
when
too,
they're
I
really
love the
antsy.
duels,
Yeah.
but, I mean, I don't feel like the 500's ever boring,
No,
especially now that they don't do single file. Because you know me, I hated Daytona when it was single
they
file
do
for
single file.
not as much as they used to.
Okay.
It's maybe for only a couple laps, and it's not the whole field anymore like it used to be.
Yeah. There's, uh there's definitely strategy in play for the 500 that I love and I crave. It is my favorite race. Um, and I gotta say, there's something different when you're there for the 500. It's electric. Even on a gloomy day, it feels like everything is right in the world at the Daytona 500. So I mean, shoot, I could watch 2 cars run around that track and I'd be happy. But yeah, after the race finished, I mean, quite the celebration occurred in the
Yeah.
stands and on the bus. And that carried over to the only way we know how to do a post race in Daytona, Bucky's. Uh, and once we were able to finally grab one of those sandwiches, we got in that long 10-minute line to check out, and then we made our way back home. And I think it was 2 o'clock when we got home. It was about 2:30 when I finally got in bed, and couldn't ask for a better race weekend, to be honest with you, especially because of the way it ended. I'm going to tell you right now, if if Blaney did not come through and he didn't beat those 6 other drivers that were right there within like a tenth of a second of him, then I would have been just miserable and I would have thought it was the worst race ever. But Blaney just clutched it up for us. I can't speak his name enough. He deserves all the flowers. So one thing that we skipped over from Saturday that we do have to mention, Connor Zilic had some big news that day
Mm.
where they announced or Trackhouse Racing announced that Zilic was going to be moving up Cup full time. This is something everybody saw coming, but they waited for Daytona weekend to officially announce it. And so, do you want to give some thoughts towards Zilic now having a ride? No, I'll have some thoughts as well. Strong opinion.
I still really
Everybody
want
does.
that shirt.
You
He had
know,
a
I
great
haven't
shirt,
searched
got
for it
my heart.
online yet, but
Well, it'll go on sale now because it's his Xfinity.
if it doesn't sell out,
True.
yeah, they got a nice shirt for
I
sale.
personally am excited to watch him in the Cup.
Absolutely.
I don't have a whole lot of favorites outside of Hendrick, but he's gonna be one of mine. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited to watch him. I think he's gonna be really good.
definitely excited to see the phenom. I think he's still 19 years old, and he's I believe, everybody can say what they want. They can think what they want. I believe he's the best prospect in NASCAR since William Byron. And I believed William Byron was the best prospect since Chase Elliott. They were close, so not a big gap there. But I don't think we've seen quite the talent since William Byron entered the Cup Series. Until now, Connor Zelich is going to be that guy. And obviously, he's going to have his work cut out for him. The Cup Series is a different animal. This car is a different animal that they're all still trying to figure out. Past champions are having a tough time figuring out. Kyle Busch just missed the playoffs for the second straight year. Like that's
Crazy.
that's just something you wouldn't even fathom. But this new car is causing some of these older champion guys to struggle. And some are catching on to it quicker. Like Denny Hamlin, we haven't seen him drop off at all. He still doesn't have that championship yet. But um, Connor Zilic, he's gonna come over. He will be just fine though. We He's got youth on his side. He's not even 20 yet. And so yeah, I think he is an exciting prospect. I would compare him to Cooper Flagg. I don't think you know that name. He's a number one pick that just went to the NBA. He's going to be playing for Dallas now, and he's he was a phenom. He went and played at Duke and was like the freshman of the year. He was national player of the year. Just owned basketball. He was playing with Team USA's guys a couple summers ago, like when he was 17 years old. He was proving it. So, but now that he's in the NBA, we will see steady growth from him. But it's not going to be easy at first. They're going up against a different breed of competitors now, legends of the sports that they're both playing. And so I know that this is not a question that you would be able to answer, but a question I would like to pose to maybe social media or all the listeners is who gets their first championship first? Cooper Flagg winning the NBA Finals or Connor Zilic winning a Cup Series championship? Because it kind of seems like both are inevitable. They'll probably happen at some point in both of these guys' careers. And they're both kind of along the same age. They're both jumping in right now to the top tier of their sports. So it's going to be interesting for a sports junkie like me to see how well they both do. I think that's a great comparison between athletes of different sports. But yeah, Zilic is going to be a guy that I do pull for. I love seeing him win in that 88 car, especially because I'm a JRM guy if it comes down to Xfinity Series. But I told Kristen that he's going to be one of those guys that just wins too much. It starts to piss me off, and I will start to dislike him at some point when he's not doing it for Hendrick Motorsports. So we got to figure out a way to get him over here. Would not be a bad idea to put him in the 48 if we could somehow make that happen, but it's not happening right now. Trackhouse has got him locked down for the time being. So that'll be a conversation for another day. We can figure it out when it comes time. But without further ado, let's talk about the Hendrick guys so we can move on with this episode. Larson started third at Daytona. He won stage one. Remember, this is not a super speedway guy. He finished 10th in stage two, and then he went on to finish sixth. He was our highest finishing Hendrick car. Like I said, think he was our best shot at winning the race. Um, he's had his best season on super speedways. They've happened this year. I think he finished third at Atlanta, third in the 500. He just finished sixth this past week. He's having his best super speedway season of his career. So look out. Um, and also because he was our highest finisher, but he only finished sixth, we did not have a car in the top five. So that streak has not been going on very long. That streak, we did have a top five streak going earlier this season, but it broke. And so whatever we just began broke again. We'll try to start a new one in Darlington. Our next best finisher was Chase Elliott, and there's not a whole lot to take away. He started 30th and he finished 10th. Don't take much from the started 30th thing. That was due to the algorithm because qualifying got canceled. William Byron, he started eighth, and then no stage points in stage one, but he did finish fifth in stage two, and then he went on to finish 19th in the race. Um, we saw him race around the front, but just never felt like he was really in contention either. What's up?
Thought
Look
didn't
like you want to
he
say something?
Yeah, didn't he have a penalty?
A penalty?
Had to start in the back?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So they. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. I wish I would have put that in the notes because I would have never thought to bring that up myself. But yes, so the 24 car did receive a penalty after qualifying was canceled. Um, or I mean, this is when it was announced. My nip is showing. Can't wear these cutoffs on TV
Gonna make people pay to watch
or live
now.
stream or whatever, Facebook, whatever. Um, I'm not on TV. I am on YouTube. You can watch us on your TV on YouTube, and you can see a little nip slip. Where was I? Okay, so yeah, they didn't announce the penalty until after qualifying, so I'm not sure when it occurred. But anyway, they made some unapproved adjustments to the 24 car, and so they ejected Rudy Fugle, crew chief for the race, and they also made Williams start in the back of the field, and he would have to serve a stop and go penalty at the beginning of the race. So I think it was lap one, the first circuit they made. He came down pit road, stopped, then went and served that penalty just because they weren't fully up to speed yet. That was the best time to serve the penalty. And so, yeah, he started definitely behind the eight ball, but it's a super speedway. A quick caution happened. He was able to get that lap back and eventually got the track position back. Like I said, he finished fifth in the second stage. Just was never felt like he was going to really contend for the win. And I mean, it didn't feel like he was going to contend for the win in February at the 500, and he still was able to get very lucky at the end and get the win. So I mean, you just have to do that. You have track position, you got a chance. But our last guy we need to mention, Alex Bowman, had the great starting position on the front row, started second, but was involved in that big accident early in the race in stage one, and so he went on to finish 36th. However, thanks to Blaney, Bowman now owes him 7 million beers. So that's what he said. I don't know if you heard that
I
quote.
did not.
Okay. They asked what Bowman should do for Blaney, and he said he'd get him 7 million beers.
My god.
And then Blaney came back in a different press conference or interview or something. He said, "Well, five's fine. 5 million will do." So, and then today they had a lot more, but I have not been able to listen to any of that yet. I think they spoke on the beer thing again, but we'll listen to that on our trip tomorrow. So, here's how the current playoff standings look right now as the playoffs begin. 10 races left. And so it's just kind of restacked. All the playoff points that have accumulated are now put into action. Larson is the one seed right now. He's plus 26. William Byron is also plus 26, but they got him listed second for probably because Larson has more wins, I believe. That might be the tiebreaker there. Um, Chase Elliott is now seventh in the points. He is plus 7 to the cutoff line. And then Alex Bowman, he's 16th in the playoffs, and he's minus 5 points. So really, between 7th and 16th is a separation of 12 points. There's a bunch of guys right there. But they have 3 races until they get cut off. And I believe that cutoff race is Bristol. So Bowman has 3 races to make up those 5 points. Chase has 3 races to grow that 7-point lead to hopefully 20, 30. And hopefully we'll be in a good position come Bristol. You just need to be top 12 in points to advance. Or if you win, you automatically advance. So if someone goes out and wins this week at Darlington, boom, you're into the top or the next round. So, excuse me. With that being said, let's discuss Darlington and give our Darlington preview. So this is a humongous race. It's the Southern 500, and it is a crown jewel. We've had 3 crown jewel races this year. This will be the last crown jewel of the season. Do you know what that means?
I don't.
These are just like the prized events. These are the ones that the drivers want more than anything. They usually reward more money than all the other races. Do you know what the other crown
I knew
jewels
that was
are?
coming.
It's okay, you can hey,
Is
this is
Atlanta
why
one?
you're on the pod. You gotta guess.
Is
Huh?
Atlanta one?
Atlanta?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Think about if you were a Cup Series driver, what race would you want to win more than any other? We were talking about it a few minutes ago.
Daytona?
Daytona
Talladega?
500,
Oh,
okay? The first one is the crown jewel, not the one we just saw,
okay.
okay? So that's one. Darlington is the second. The other 2?
Is Talladega one?
No. Coca-Cola 600. It's the longest race of our season, the most endurance. And then the Brickyard 400, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's where they run the Indy 500.
Where's the Coke 600?
The Coke 600 is at Charlotte Motor Speedway,
Oh, okay.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Pretty much the home of NASCAR now. So they all get to sleep in their beds before that one. And that should be a race on your bucket list. So I checked it off of mine, but it's time to check more off of yours. Next year,
Hopefully.
I need her to commit on a live stream so that I can go back and say, hey, remember when you promised me this?
I think I've already committed enough. Where you go, I go.
Yeah. So this is when I am going to give the stats of our team at Darlington and how we've done in the past. So historical data right here. It's going to be a lot of numbers. Are you ready for this?
Probably not.
Probably not. You enjoying that drink?
Yeah,
Can I get a sip? A
it's 10
Glinda
o'clock. It's
or
past my
Linda?
bedtime.
I know. You're off tomorrow.
And Galinda, not Glinda.
Go, Linda. I didn't think they could call it that.
Oh, they didn't. You're right. It's
I,
Glinda.
I am right.
It's
I'm right.
named after Galinda.
Gotcha. Well, Hendrick Motorsports has had a car race in 69 nice races at Darlington. And in those 69 nice races, we have 16 wins, which is the most of all organizations. We have 9 poles. That's not the most. We have 58 top fives. That's the most. We have 97 top tens. That's the most. And we've led 4,259 laps, which is the most of all organizations. So this is a great track for Hendrick Motorsports. But now we're going to look individually at each driver and how they've done. So Kyle Larson has 15 starts. And in those 15 starts at Darlington, he's got 1 win, no poles, 7 top fives, 9 top tens. He's led 1,048 laps, and his average finish is a 12.5. Those stats seem good
Yeah, he's led like what, a fourth of the laps?
from Hendrick Motorsports
Yeah,
alone. Yeah, that's a great observation there. A quarter of the laps. And you know Jeff and Jimmy have led a ton.
that's crazy.
Casey Kane probably led some. Terry Labonte, maybe. I could get lost
You
doing
say I
this.
dare you to give Kyle Busch credit.
Kyle Busch, he we saw his potential in the 5. He wasn't phenomenal in the 5 yet.
Mm.
But oh no, they did not. Okay, good. Watching Messi right now. But we've got
Your
him.
son would be so proud
We've
of
got
you.
him. We're up 1-0 against the GOAT. Okay, Chase Elliott's next. So Chase has 17 starts at Darlington. No wins yet, no poles. He's got 4 top fives, 8 top tens. He's only led 151 laps, and his average finish is 15.8. This is just one of those tracks that Chase just really hasn't figured it out at yet. Um, he's never looked bad there. Well, I shouldn't say never, but he always does seem to run towards the top 5. But William Byron is next, and I like William Byron's stats at Darlington. He's got 14 starts, and that includes 1 win, 2 poles, 5 top fives, 7 top tens. He's led 331 laps, and his average finish is 15th. And then poor old Alex Bowman, Not a strong track. He's got 15 starts here, no wins, no poles, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s. He's led 42 laps, and his average finish is 19.8. So,
Yikes.
there's worse out there, though. So knowing all of that information, and you're gonna use the information that I'm about to give about the betting lines for this race. You're gonna make some predictions in a few minutes, so I hope you are preparing those. Again, she's had 0 prep. So the betting lines, just gonna mention a few. We're gonna start with the favorites for the race, and this is to win the race. So Larson has the best odds this week. He is plus 500. So that means a $10 bet gets you 50. Now, Blaney has the second best odds this week, and he is plus 550. So very close in odds. $10 bet wins you 55. William Byron has those same odds. He is also plus 550. Chase Elliott has the eighth best odds this week. He's plus 1750. And then Alex Bowman has the 17th best odds, and he's plus 4,000. So a $10 bet wins you 400 if the 48 can find victory lane. A couple notables that I wanted to mention. Tyler Reddick is plus 650. The reason I mention him is his odds are not very far from Larson's plus 500, but Reddick just has not seemed to figure it out this year yet.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's not very good odds. I would like to see those a little bit higher before I place any money on Reddick. Bubba Wallace is plus 2,000. That is half the odds of Bowman. So what they're saying is Bubba has a much better chance of winning this race than Bowman does. Not particularly how I would feel. I would say, yeah, he's probably got a better shot at winning the race, but not double the odds there. And then Austin Cindric is plus 3,000. That's kind of strange. Maybe he has some pretty good history at Darlington that I'm just not aware of. And then, oh boy, I got to quit watching my TV right now. And then Eric Jones, I think he's got a couple cup wins at Darlington, and he's done it in this 43 car. His odds are plus 5,000. So,
Sorry, can you say that again? I saw Schlegel and I got distracted.
yes, what do you want me to say again?
The last one that you just said.
Eric Jones, he's plus 5,000. Very high odds for a guy that has a great history at the track, and he's done it in this 43 car. So, with all that being said, let's make some predictions. I don't want you to make my predictions,
Okay.
but we're going to give 3 winners. So, you got to pick someone from the Hendrick camp. You got to pick any other driver, and then a long shot.
Okay.
Someone that you think has higher odds, decent chance of winning. You can pick the same drivers I pick. I'll even let you go first so that you
Okay.
can't pick mine or wouldn't feel bad to. But because I've already pre-written mine down. But who do you think wins from the Hendrick camp?
I would say just because I feel like he's on a roll right now, not winning, but he's just doing better, would be Larson.
Larson?
Yeah.
I think that's solid. I mean, he's the favorite to win the race, so that's a great pick. Who do you got for, any other driver? You can pick any other driver. You do have to pick any other driver.
Um, I would probably go I know you're not gonna like this, but I'd probably go Denny.
I know, I know. He should be considered. He's on a roll too. He's definitely gonna have a great chance this week. So, not a I mean, yeah, he's bad, but not a bad pick though. How about your long shot?
Um,
Someone that you don't usually think is gonna win the race, but maybe might surprise you.
feel like I gotta go back to my fantasy days and just go Eric Jones.
Did you ever pick him in fantasy?
Yes, he was my
Okay.
fallback.
Yeah.
If I ever picked, like, past 10th,
Yeah.
Eric Jones was my go-to if
Yeah.
all my other guys were taken.
Okay then. So, yeah,
We
let me
can
share
talk
my
about this at
picks
Daytona.
about Egg Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to delay my picks because Messi's about to take a penalty shot against us. If Galese can save this, I'd be the happiest dude. Oh God, he netted it. All right, it's 1-1. I'll have to see that replay and see if he actually earned that penalty or not. But
You need to show Braden that.
yeah, yeah, no. All right, so here's my predictions now. So from the Hendrick camp, I'm going to go William Byron just because I feel like I can make a good enough case for him or Larson to win this week. I just feel like Byron, I mean, he's got a little bit higher odds, so you're getting a little bit more for that win. And I mean, I said at the Oyster Pub, I think he's going to win this championship. So that begins the road to that begins this week. My non-Hendrick winner, obviously, Denny Hamlin would be a solid pick. I'm going to go with one of his teammates, Chase Briscoe. This is a guy that knows how to get around Darlington pretty well. We've seen him show a lot of speed this year. He's been very impressive. Specifically, he has shown speed for all the other 3 crown jewels. He's won the pole for all 3 crown jewel races so far this year. So he could win another pole this week. And if you do that, I mean, we've seen him qualify so well this year. If you do that, you have great track position to start this race, which is key to winning in the next gen era. So I think he's going to be a pretty hot pick this week. And then my long shot, same as you, Eric Jones. He just can't be overlooked at Darlington, no matter what he's driving. I think you could put him in a school bus and he'd probably be more competitive than Cody Ware's going to be. If Cody Ware's even in the race. Um, so there's our predictions. Do you want to make any predictions for trucks or Xfinity?
I wouldn't even know what to say.
Do you know
Creed.
who's Creed? What series is he in?
Well, now Xfinity.
That's not a terrible pick. I think he was like 3rd or 4th best odds.
Justin Haley.
The thing
Just gonna give
is,
you all the names I
Justin
know.
Haley, he's in the Cup Series.
Oh, what was Haley that was in Xfinity? Austin Haley.
Oh my gosh. That's Austin Hill?
Austin.
You might have been thinking about some Justin Haley in Xfinity from a while back. You thinking Haley Deegan?
No. What if I had just said her though?
I thought you were gonna say her for trucks for some reason.
No.
So
If anybody, I would still say Creed for trucks because he's just always going to be trucks for me.
so
Never.
Xfinity, you can go with Sheldon Creed. They're on a road course this week. They're in Portland. I'm pretty sure it's a road course because Zilich was the heavy favorite, and so that's who I got to go with. I got to go with Zilich and Xfinity. Trucks, I'll tell you who you should pick. But yeah, you have not paid any attention to trucks. Trucks are going to be at Darlington. Um, so if you want to go with the favorite in the truck series, Corey Heim,
I've heard that
he's
name.
winning everything. He will be running Cup Series sooner rather than later. And then my trucks pick would probably be Chandler Smith, just because I don't like to pick the guy that is supposed to win the race. So Chandler Smith, I'll put a little flyer on him. Think he might show up at Darlington this week. And that's it. So that brings us to our restaurant recommendations. We're coming up right on 1 hour, so we're gonna wrap this up with some. Do you have any recommendations? Do you want me to give mine? And then you just say, "Yeah, I'll go with that. I agree."
Yeah, because I honestly don't remember where we ate on that trip.
Yeah,
I just remember getting Bojangles at the track and being happy.
exactly. I don't remember any places either. I would put Bojangles up there. Um,
And where we
so
did eat was in Myrtle Beach.
yeah, and that's fair because a lot of people will end up staying in Myrtle Beach.
I wouldn't even remember the names.
Yeah, I don't
And they're
remember
probably
either.
long gone.
Look, the 2 places I'm gonna mention, Duplin Winery.
Yep.
Yeah, of
That's about as
course.
far as I
I don't
go.
even know if you can eat there, but you can have a few glasses of wine and really enjoy, what you're sipping on. And then, Cookout. It's the sponsor of the race. It's the Cookout Southern 500. So, obviously, you gotta go get some Cookout,
Mhm.
which is what we're gonna do tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're having that for dinner tomorrow night. That's
And
a
Bojangles.
Bojangles. So those 2 are big for us. We just don't have any cookouts, I don't think, in Florida yet. And, we do have some Bojangles in Florida, but they're way down the road, so
And they're not full menus, so you can even get what you want.
yeah, Bojangles anyway. So any chance we get to have Bojangles or cookout while we're out on the road, we take full advantage of that, and we certainly will be doing that tomorrow. Um, with that being said, let me give you the schedule for the weekend, and then we are going to get out of here so that we can continue to pack for our trips, actually. There's a lot on our plate. So trucks are racing at Darlington. That will be Saturday at noon on FS1, right when you're turning on the TV to watch college football. Don't know why they scheduled that race for that time. And then, even more boneheaded of a move, Xfinity, they're going to be racing in Portland. That will be Saturday at 7:30 when all the primetime games are coming on college football. But if you want to tune in, that will be on CW. Did I say what channel trucks would be on? They'll be on FS1. But the time slot, we hope not to miss. The Cup Series will race from Darlington on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Do you think we will be back in town to see that
I
race?
sure hope so, because
Me
we will
too.
have laundry to do and pack again.
I'll be wanting to go to sleep shortly after that race
Yeah.
begins. But I won't be able to do that unless we're home first. So hopefully we can make it home in time to see the full 500. Hopefully there's no delay because I will not be able to stay up extra to watch that race. But I'm looking right now. Does not look like we have an Xfinity entry. And as for trucks, we don't have Xfinity. Sorry, we don't have a truck program, but our guy Corey Day is in the truck race this week. He'll be driving the 7 truck for Spire Motorsports, so he'll be in Darlington. It'll be interesting to see how he does. Do you know who Corey Day is?
I've heard you, like, mention him, but
Yeah,
no.
he's a part-time Xfinity guy for us. He doesn't have any cup, and he's not full-time. Just comes over and runs a few races. So it's interesting to see the rest of his schedule, how he lines up. I think he just won a pretty big race this past weekend, actually. Um, forget what it's called, Gold Cup, maybe. Wish I would have looked that up now, but um, we're always cheering him on because he represents us. So that's it. Any parting words before we end this stream and get on with the rest of our busy week? I mean, we say busy week just because we're going to be moving a lot, but
It's gonna be busy.
it's going to be fun busy. Would you like to say anything to the listeners or the viewers?
No.
No? Just you don't wanna say adios?
Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you for joining. Um, like I've said a bunch of times, it's so much better being able to talk NASCAR with someone instead of just myself. I love doing it just myself, but I feel like it's a little bit better for the listeners and the viewers to have someone with me. And who better than my wife, who I'll be celebrating an anniversary with in 1 hour and 33 minutes.
Woo.
Yeah. And then, yeah, and to do this on our couch,
Yeah.
kinda different. Didn't think that was gonna happen, but, hope you enjoyed the episode. I plan on bringing you another episode next week. You might be on that one too, because 'cause we're gonna be
Maybe.
stuck in Texas.
My gosh. Join us from our hotel room.
Is it a
A-frame.
hotel?
No, our
It's not a
A-frame.
hotel. Is there a Wi-Fi connection?
There should be, yeah.
There better be.
We'll be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that could be a fun one.
Yeah.
We don't know how that's gonna turn out actually. So definitely tune back in. We'll be on our I almost said honeymoon, but we'll be on our anniversary trip. We'll treat it like a honeymoon. And yeah, we'll bring you another NASCAR podcast. We'll talk about this Darlington race that I'm going to try not to sleep through. And then we'll preview the next race of the playoffs. Because from here on out, all these races are very important. Every point matters. And so we don't want to have any bad days going forward. But there's no bad days when you're on Team Kozy. Ain't that right?
That's right.
That's right. All right. Well, y'all stay safe, whatever you do this weekend. Oh, happy Labor Day weekend.
You didn't really do, like, your shout out. I guess you kinda did for the
Shout out.
toast, but
Yeah. No, we fine.
okay.
We good. But happy Labor Day weekend. Um, and enjoy all the college football. Yes, this is a NASCAR podcast, but this is a huge weekend for college football. Everyone that's doing their fantasy football drafts. So big time of year for us sports junkies. So I know my wife is just ever in love with me now. I'm gonna cut this off. I'll see y'all next week.